second delay. Just in case there's an issue like that, this is where you configure it. The output tab is very important, and I highly recommend you look more into things like video bitrate. That will really make a big difference for your streaming quality. And then of course you want to make sure that you're choosing the right setting for recording your video. So if you want to just have it at the same level as your stream, you could do that. Or if you want to just record and not stream at all, you'll definitely want to take this and boost it up based on how much space you have on your drive, how good of a computer you have, and many other factors. This is also where you would check out your audio bitrate and what video recording format you want, among many other things, like where you're actually going to record. So make sure you have enough space and you don't start recording and max out your drive. You could also change your output mode to advanced and get really crazy, but I highly recommend you watch a separate video on that. We are not going to be covering that. Finally, stream. This is important because this is how you actually connect to your streaming service. Here it's set up for Twitch. You can do YouTube. Mixer doesn't exist anymore. Facebook Live, Restream, Twitter, so on and so forth. If you want to stream to multiple platforms at the same time, I do recommend that you check out restream.io. We use it here at Elegant Themes and it's a great service. However, if you want to just connect to a custom service, you would click custom, and then that service should give you a server address and a stream key, which you enter here, and that's it. I'm not going to talk about how to use Twitch or YouTube or any of that, because when you set up a stream on that service, they give you the instructions as well as the necessary information to fill out. Once all of that is actually configured, you just hit start streaming and literally you're live. It's no different than starting a recording. You click it, boom, that's it. And then you stop it and that's it. Now on some services like YouTube, they have an additional step. They have a button that you have to actually click that says, yes, I am ready to go live. And then when you're done, you have to press it to stop streaming. So it's not just here on OBS, but it's also on that platform. Now, services like Twitch, they just let you hit start streaming and you're live, so on and so forth. So definitely check based on the service you're using. And again, when you go and actually start a stream, they usually give.
You might have seen videos like this before, but here's the big secret. Anyone can make one of these videos in a few minutes. You might think you need a professional animator or to learn some fancy editing program, but that's not the case. In fact, we know you can make a professional video just like this.
Today I am talking about OBS Studio and how you can actually use your phone's camera to be a second camera for your live stream. Gonna want to stick around for this one. What's up everybody, it's Shane here at Waiting to be Seen, and I want to welcome you to this week's video. I'm so glad that you have joined me. Today I'm going to be talking about OBS Studio and a little bit of a function that I've only personally learned about in the last month or so, and that is being able to use my phone's camera in OBS as like a B camera, and that's pretty amazing. If you don't know about the platform itself, OBS is basically this. I mean, I've got a basic setup at the moment, and this is a piece of software that allows know about the platform itself. OBS is basically this. I mean, I've got a basic setup at the moment, and this is a piece of software that allows people to live stream. So if you've ever watched YouTube videos and people gaming and you wondered, how are they doing that? There's a really good chance that they're using OBS Studio. And one of the reasons why they're using OBS Studio is because it is such a powerful piece of software and it's free, which ticks so many boxes for so many people. And so for me, learning how to use this software has been such a great process as a content creator, because let's be honest, live streaming during COVID has just gone up through the absolute roof, not just on Twitch, but on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, on a whole bunch of platforms. So this video is really going to be helpful for you just to level up. Instead of just being stuck to the webcam in your laptop or whatever device you're using, you can add another camera, and it's easy to do. You don't need another piece of hardware. Like, it's really easy to go out and buy, say, an Atom Mini and plug in 3 or 4 cameras into that and then plug that in and then be able to switch between those cameras. You can do that, absolutely. But if you don't have the budget to do that, there's a really good chance that you already have a smartphone. So just use this. And that's what today's video is about. Let's dive right on in. So this is OBS. I'm going to presume that you already know the platform. I'm not going to delve into the particulars. It's not a tutorial on how to use the platform. It's just a tutorial on how to add your phone. So I will show you how to do that. First thing I want to do is actually add a new scene. I'm going to call this Ninja, and I'll call it the name of my phone, which is S9. That'll do. And I don't have any sources, so I need to add a source, and I'm going to add a browser. Okay, let's call that S9 browser for now. Click OK. So this a dialog box opens up, and basically you need to add in a URL here, add a couple of particulars. So I'll add some of the particulars first because I don't have the URL yet. I want to create it so it's 1920 by 1080, and I want OBS to be able to control the audio coming out of the device. Now, this is the important part right here that we're going to be able to have to find. So I have loaded Chrome in my phone and I've gone to the website obs.ninja. And the great thing is, this is not just applicable to your phone. This does actually work on another laptop as well. So if you want to run two laptops with two webcams, you can do that. But I'm getting ahead of myself. obs.ninja. That's where you want to go. They do say just a little bit down the page, if you scroll, that that they are rebranding to VDO.ninja. So at some point in the future, you will need to change the domain name to VDO.ninja rather than OBS.ninja. So just keep that in mind. Let's scroll back up. It's really, really simple. There's an option here, create a room, create a reusable invite, or add your camera to OBS. And that's what we want to do. Just click on add your camera to OBS. It's going to have a look here. So it has found my front-facing camera, and I could actually change it around if I wanted to. I could use the back-facing camera. That is an option. You can see that there. But let's say for now, we'll just use the front-facing camera. So that's the slightly wider camera. So that's the tight shot. Let's go for the wide shot. That's looking good. You can then go horizontal, and that's going to give us that horizontal screen. Now, because I am entering my my footage into OBS and saying I want it to be 1920 by 1080, I am going to go horizontal rather than vertical, but you could go vertical. Really, really easy to do. And all you have to do is just press start. OBS.ninja is now streaming my phone's camera footage. And so all we have to do is take this stream, this browser source stream that OBS Ninja has created, and we need to paste that into OBS Studio. So let's do that. So I've taken the URL, I've popped it into OBS, and if I click on OK, and then click on the Ninja S9 scene, there it is. My phone is now streaming its camera, and OBS Studio is picking it up. And if I just click on studio mode for a minute, you'll be able to see both cameras running at the same time. So in preview, I now have my laptop 1080, and I want OBS. A dialog box opens up, and basically you need to add in a URL here, add a couple of particulars. So I'll add some of the particulars first because I don't have the URL yet. I want to create it so it's 1920 by 1080, and I want OBS to be able to control the audio coming out of the device. Now, this is the important part right here that we're going to be able to have to find. So I have loaded Chrome in my phone and I've gone to the website obs.net. Ninja. And the great thing is, this is not just applicable to your phone, this does actually work on The great thing is, this is not just applicable to your phone. This does actually work on another laptop as well. So if you want to run two laptops with two webcams, you can do that. But I'm getting ahead of myself. OBS Ninja. That's where you want to go. They do say just a little bit down the page, if you scroll, that that they are rebranding to VDO.ninja. So at some point in the future, you will need to change the domain name to VDO.ninja rather than OBS.ninja. So just keep that in mind. Let's scroll back up. It's really, really simple. There's an option here, create a room, create a reusable invite, or add your camera to OBS. And that's what we want to do. Just click on add your camera to OBS. It's going to have a look here. So it has found my front facing camera, and I could actually change it around if I wanted to. I could use the back facing camera. That is an option. You can see that there, but let's say for now, we'll just use the front facing camera. So that's the slightly wider camera. So that's the tight shot. Let's go for the wide shot. That's looking good. You can then go horizontal, and that's going to give us that horizontal screen. Now, because I am entering my my footage into OBS and saying I want it to be 1920 by 1080, I am going to go horizontal rather than vertical, but you could go vertical. Really, really easy to do. And all you have to do is just press start. OBS.ninja is now streaming my phone's camera footage. And so all we have to do is take this stream, this browser source stream that OBS Ninja has created, and we need to paste that into OBS Studio. So let's do that. So I've taken the URL, I've popped it into OBS, and if I click on OK, and then click on the Ninja S9 scene, there it is. My phone is now streaming its camera, and OBS Studio is picking it up. And if I just click on studio mode for a minute, you'll be able to see both cameras running at the same time. So in preview, I now have my laptop, and if I switch, that's then the phone. Of course, because this camera is streaming, there's going to be like a minuscule amount of lag, but I think that if you have a really good internet connection on both devices, then that lag is actually fairly acceptable, especially if you're going to use your phone as, say, a B camera that's got a bit of distance and is a bit of an overarching view, something that you can just switch to just to spice up the live stream. I think it is a fantastic function. And so this is a piece of software, just a little bit of an extension, a little bit of an initiative from the guys at obs.ninja or video.ninja that can really unlock your creativity as a content creator using OBS. And with that being said and done, let me find somewhere to put this, shall I? With that being said, I am all done for today. I hope that you've really enjoyed this top tip, this little hack that's going to help take your live streaming to the next level. If you have, give me a thumbs up down below to let me know. And hey, here at Waiting to be Seen, I have a whole bunch of content. I have other tips, tricks, full-on tutorials. I have some unboxing content. I have some reviews, and it's all about helping others. That is my why. I'm very, very interested in being able to release content and free content that can help you be a better content creator. And if that sounds like something you might be interested in journeying with me on, then you guys know the drill. You just have to click on that big old red subscribe button.
Hey, do you want to start streaming? With All Pro, you get access to hundreds of overlays and alerts. Install them with just one click. Use our plugin in your favorite language. All Pro gives
OBS Studio is one of the most powerful streaming programs available, and there are a lot of features that content creators might not know about. Today, I want to teach you 20 tips and tricks that I've learned over the years to help you step up your streaming game. Hello, my name is Pixel. Today I'm going to teach you about all the little features that make OBS Studio stand out from all the other streaming softwares. If you want, I stream over at twitch.tv/pixelperfect with a 1 instead of an I. Now for today's demonstration, I am going to be using 26.0.2, so make sure you're updated to that version so you get all the features that I'm going to be explaining today. And with that, let's hop into it.
Okay, so the first thing that I want to show you in OBS, and this is a fresh install on my computer. Just wanted to show you that. So everything you'll see here is set to default. I've only added a couple sources over here to make the explanation process a little easier. So with a fresh install,
Yo, what's up, Dad? Come on. Welcome back.
Who are you?
For 5 years, the Lion family gave us one of the best family dramas of our time. In fact, decades from now, I doubt anyone will have forgotten about the famous Cookie Lion or hip-hop kingpin Lucius Lion and his sons who fought him for the control of the empire. After 6 seasons, the show finally came to an end in 2019, but sadly they were forced to wrap things up due to the global pandemic. The finale
Five marriages and only 3 wives. How did Terrence Howard manage that trick? Why are best friends Howard and Downey Jr. not speaking to each other anymore? How did Taraji P. Henson manage to conquer Hollywood with $700 and a baby? And what's Jussie Smollett going to do after Fox terminated their contract with them? Hi, I'm Clive, and you're watching Asa. Taraji P. Henson as Laretha Lion. Taraji did a great job portraying Cookie Lion. Before that, the actress starred in movies such as Date Night, The Karate Kid, and The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. She was even nominated for an Oscar, SAG Award, and Critics' Choice Award for the latter. Taraji made a few remarkable appearances on TV, but the role in Empire was definitely her brightest. Henson's off-screen journey towards a partnered life has as many surprising twists as her on-screen plot. In 1994, Taraji gave birth to a son with her high school sweetheart, William Lamar Johnson. She got pregnant while still a student at Howard University, and she was often told that it was the end of her career because of it. But as the actress says, she didn't miss a single class. She got a role in a graduation play and then went to conquer LA with a baby and only $700 in her pocket. My father was like, "Leave him home." I said, "I can't leave my son at home." And eventually my father said, "That's your baby. That's your blessing. He's going to be your strength." And you know what? He was. Taraji says, the baby's father, William, was killed in 2003 as a result of a domestic dispute with a married couple. As a result, Henson became a widow with a 9-year-old son. The tragedy should have broken her down, but many years after that, while commenting on that situation in an interview with I Love Old School Music, Taraji showed her inner strength and even her ability to view the situation philosophically. Do I mourn for him? Absolutely. I wish my son had his dad. But sometimes things line up and they have to happen and we don't know why. But her problems didn't end there. In 2014, the Empire star said that her son had been racially profiled by the police and that his car had been illegally searched during a traffic stop in Glendale, California. Soon, the video from the event was published. In the video, her son confessed to using light drugs 2 hours before driving. Also, a little weed was found in his car. Again, Taraji showed her fine upbringing and wisdom. Here's what she posted on her IG page. I would like to publicly apologize to the officer and the Glendale Police Department. A mother's job is not easy, and neither is a police officer's. However, now, after all the trouble she's gone through, fate seems to be kinder to Henson. Last year, she got engaged to successful football quarterback Kelvin Hayden, who is 13 years younger than she is. It's already been announced that the couple set a wedding date for April 2020, and the bride's dress is going to be designed by the living legend Vera Wang. Terrence Howard as Lucius Lyon. Having started his career in the 90s, Terrence Howard managed to become famous in the middle of 2000s and even got an Oscar nomination for his role in the movie Hustle and Flow. Terrence also portrayed James Rhodes in the first Iron Man and was supposed to come back, but his contract was terminated. Sources report that Terrence was supposed to get $8.5 million, which was double his payment for Part 1. However, Robert Downey Jr. also had his pay increased, and after that, the producers called Terrence and said, look, we will pay you 1/8 of what we contractually had for you because we think the second one will be successful with or without you. Terrence tried to get a hold of Downey Jr., who he thought of as a friend, but he just wouldn't answer the calls. It turns out that the person that I helped become Iron Man, when it was time to re-up for the second one, took the money that was supposed to go to me and pushed me out, Howard said. However, Terrence was lucky, and in 2015, he landed the leading role in Empire. Howard's personal life is just as tricky and full of intrigue as his professional path. He was married 4 times, but only to 3 women. How'd that happen? Well, let's start from the beginning. In 1989, Howard married Lori McComas, American homemaker from New York. The couple welcomed 3 children, but their life wasn't as smooth as they'd hoped for. In 2009, his relationship problems got published on the website The Smoking Gun. Terrence and Lori started living separately back in 2001, and according to the police reports, once he came to her house after an argument on the phone, forced entry into her home by breaking indoors, and chased her into the backyard where he punched her in the face twice. In 2002, he pleaded guilty to disturbing the peace. In 2015, Howard confirmed the situation in an interview with the magazine Rolling Stone. She was talking to me real strong, and I lost my mind and slapped her in front of the kids. However, Terrence and Lori kept in touch, and 2 years later, got married again. However, you can't set foot in the same river twice, and in 2007, the couple got divorced. This time for good. In 2010, Terrence got married to a commercial production employee, Michelle Gent. Although this marriage wasn't very successful either. After only 13 months, the couple got a divorce. Gent left her spouse, asking for $1 million in spousal support. The second spouse, as well as the first one, accused Howard of being physically abusive towards her. In 2013, the star of Empire got married for the third time with former model and restaurateur Mira Pak. They met in the middle of the day in one of the LA restaurants. Terrence came up to the table at which Miranda was sitting with some guy and said, "I don't know if she's your wife or girlfriend, but she's absolutely stunning." 3 weeks later, they got married. The couple welcomed 2 children together, but this marriage couldn't handle the star's temper either. "We have an amazing connection, but I mean, he's not perfect. Doesn't do the dishes, doesn't cook, doesn't lift a finger. I probably leave him 30 times a month," Mira said. "He's so selfish. But, you know, he didn't have much of a childhood." They got a divorce in 2015, and a year later, got engaged again. Can you believe it? The habit of marrying the same woman twice makes Terrence similar to his character Lucius, who reunited with Cookie in the finale of season 4. We don't know if anything good will come out of this second shot, but we'll definitely keep you informed. Brashear Y. Gray as Hakeem Lion. Yaz the Greatest, or simply Yaz, is also Brashear Y. Gray, aka Hakeem Lion. The future star achieved remarkable results in sports while playing football on the Overbrook High School team. But as it often happens, life comes with its lows, and due to some trauma that Brashear got at the age of 16, he had to look for alternate ways to grow his career. He started as a street performer to make some money and help his mother, who was raising him alone. Soon, Brashear's talent was noticed, and he got a manager who helped him get into lineups of big music fests, and also introduced him to the director of this very same project on Fox. After joining the cast of Empire, Gray's career, and not only the acting, but also the musical one, started going up. Today, he's got contracts with Fox and Columbia Records, and he's considered to be one of the most prospective hip-hop performers. Being 25, he hasn't had the time to create a long list of marriages and divorces. But that hasn't stopped the media from using his popularity to get clicks and views. Different articles have given out different information about him, and some even said he was gay. Although, those are just some harmful theories. Brashear has had a relationship with Eloni Janet, a musician from Philadelphia, and also with the model and actress Johnny Blaze. Now, the heart of a young, prospective, and quite rich artist is completely free. So girls, go! Here's your chance! Jussie Smollett as Jamal Lyon. At the beginning of this year, the press blew up about the case of Jussie Smollett, who faked an assault, saying that it was based on racial and homophobic hate. However, the police solved that mystery rather quickly when they found out that the staged assault was just Jussie's attempt to get a higher salary on the Empire show. After this incident, the Fox producers decided to take the actor off the list of the show's cast. But we have to admit that Smollett was the perfect fit for the role of Jamal Lyon. The story of a character who struggles with his father's objection to his homosexuality was inspired by the personal story of the showrunner of Empire, Lee Daniels. But Jussie could also relate to the subject. Homophobia is so real, and it's happening to so many people. To children and young people that are questioning their sexuality or know for their sexuality, if they can look at someone and see themselves in Jamal, that's incredible. I embrace that fully. Jussie told Television Critics Association. At the age of 19, he came out to his parents, and in 2015, he openly admitted to being gay on the Ellen DeGeneres show. The rumors were that Smollett was dating his former on-screen boyfriend, Rafael de la Fuente. He was also rumored to be in a relationship with former football player Michael Sam. Although Jussie neither confirms nor refutes these rumors, it's said that Smollett has been dating businessman Tawan Davis for 2 years already. It's clear that Jussie doesn't like talking about his personal life too much, and usually